And we're back. Episode 5 of Hot Takes and Half Truths. It's your boy Ivy Joe.
It's your boy Just Kingin.
And interesting week this week.
Very.
I mean, we was talking back and forth earlier today. We'll get into that one last, but it's odd how that happened. I was like, man, you never know. Something may actually pop off later.
Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. A lot moved very last minute today. Minute today, and some stuff from yesterday. So for those that don't know, it's Friday. I was about to say September, boy. Friday, February 22nd. So some big news in the world of pop culture.
Yeah.
Today and yesterday.
And sports.
And everything. All over. So we'll get to it. Week recap.
Okay. I mean, my week was pretty shit. It's starting to sound like a broken record.
I was gonna say, man, we work 9-to-5 jobs,
yeah.
So corporate America, it don't change very much.
Yeah, broken record, man. But it's a good week.
Okay,
another good week. What about yourself?
Good week, pretty standard week. Got some news. So we got some news that as you know, my wife is pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Baby's healthy. Baby's alive and kicking and strong. Next week, he will be here.
Oh.
So, whether we ready or not, next week, little man will be here.
It's go time, baby.
Yeah. So, 1 week and counting. So, y'all keep us in your prayers,
We'll do.
I know he'll probably be here by the time y'all see. Actually, no, it might be a few days. But still, anyway, put a prayer out there that my little man is healthy, wife is healthy. Mother and baby, that's all I want. So that's it, man.
Good deal. So that said, I told you last week I was going to double up on the drink of the week.
Yeah, what you got for me?
It's called Glen Ford Dry. I think that's what it is. Glen Ford Dry. It's a single malt Scotch
show
whiskey.
The bottle. Show the camera over here the bottle, man. Go ahead and show it to him.
Single malt Scotch.
Show it to him.
Scotch whiskey.
Ooh,
21 age, 21 years.
21.
Oak age.
21.
Should it actually play?
Come on, man. You got show them the decanter too, man. The decanter from Decatur. Come on, man. What other podcast got decanters, man? Come on, man. They ain't doing it like us, man. They ain't doing it like us, man. Let me get the docket ready. I got a little docket over here. Got some notes on the docket.
Oh, you do, huh? You being professional this week.
Man, look, man, I strive to please. You know what I'm saying?
Cheers.
All right. Oh, Glen Full Drive. Yeah.
Full Drive? I think so. I think that's about right.
I don't know. Foldry?
That's the one thing I meant to do.
Fohdry.
That's the one thing I meant to do, but it's a product of Scotland, so it's official, baby.
Okay, this is interesting. I could do this.
Oh yeah, this smooth shit right here.
Well, you pulled up, boy. Like you ain't got nothing to do tomorrow.
Shit,
you ain't got nothing.
We got 2 days.
I got childbirthing class in the morning. We waited till the 11th hour, boy, to learn how to do this. It's a good thing the doctor gave us another week, boy. But all right, man. So
with that said, I ain't got nothing for music this week. I kind of been listening to the same old.
Okay. Well, I stumbled upon an artist, man, by the name of St. John. Mm-hmm. He's a very interesting artist, man. Can't call him a rapper. Can't call him a singer. The only word that fits is an artist because he's got some kind of popish, very melodic kind of cuts, but he's also got some very dark, grimy, almost trappish kind of sounds.
Yeah,
it's almost like if you mix, I would say, The Weeknd with like a trap artist.
Okay,
right. And I had to do some research on the young man and see like the total pause the total package of the artist, right?
Gotcha.
Just to see kind of how he was presenting himself and selling himself as an artist. And he's definitely going for the rock star look, man. He's definitely going for it. He dresses very flamboyant at times. His little symbol is like a cross, obviously with the Saint Saint John name, but he's got a mysterious air to him where none of his very little of his artwork has him on it, but he'll be at Rolling Loud here in a couple of weeks, so maybe
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Maybe worth making a stop, taking the podcast on the road, man. Taking our talents to South Beach.
I will definitely be up for that.
Will.
I will be up for that.
Which camera? Yeah. Take our talents to South Beach. Yeah. yeah. Wifey will let me out the house.
Hell yeah. Hey, if I need to put in a word, I'll do my best.
I'm kidding, baby. Whatever she need, I'm there. But yeah, man, so check out St. John. He's got an album. Let me see what the album is called, man. It's like a pink heart or something. Not a pink heart, but a pink cross. Album is called Collection 1 by St. John, released last year. Right now, I'm listening to Selfish off of that. Nigga Shoot, in parentheses, Swoosh. Tracy Lords, Reflex goes in. I heard you got Too Lit last night. Like, he got a couple on here, man. So you definitely got to check it out. And it's going to take you through a range of emotions, but it's definitely a vibe. Okay. St. John.
St. John, man. That's on the list then.
That's it, man. So yeah, man. So we gonna jump right into it?
Yeah, man. We kind of touched on this at the end of last episode. We realized at the end that we didn't touch it. And you know, I'm a grown man, so I ain't gonna say pause. We done with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you didn't say I want to see the total package. I want to see St. John's total package either. So I gotta pause that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, man.
You can't blame me for that.
We all grown men in here, man. We do what we want. With that said, it's tax season, baby.
It is.
I just got done with my taxes. About you?
Yeah, I filed them things a couple days ago.
Man, but ain't no one done better than my man, old Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Ain't no one done better than my man Jeff
Bezos
and Amazon. Them boys actually paid a negative percentage.
They got paid.
Yes.
The government paid.
Yes.
Amazon. One of the biggest companies in North America, in the world, really. But in North America, it's one of, I believe, it's definitely in the top 10.
One of the most profitable companies.
Yeah. Owner is the richest man in the world. They paid less taxes than Ivy and myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not combined.
No.
Not combined. Let's get it understood.
No.
They paid less than us individually. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a millionaire.
No.
I'm not, I don't got millions.
I'm working on it though.
Yeah, I don't got millions in the in my federal income or, taxable income column,
Mm-hmm.
We make a little something. We doing well, but not that well, right?
Yeah.
So, I thought this was interesting, man, to wake up and catch news headlines that Amazon paid zero in federal. That's an important distinction, everybody.
Yeah,
they paid zero in federal income taxes, not state, but paid zero in federal income taxes. That's crazy.
It's interesting to me. That's very interesting because I guess as a businessman, that's what we all try to find ways to maximize our expenditures. So that's very interesting to me, and I know we kind of want to kind of stay high level, but I'm so interested in those numbers. I had to look into it.
Okay, what you got?
I had to look into it. So interesting enough, this is year number 2 where they actually didn't pay.
That's right.
So and the effective tax rate was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a negative 1.2%.
That's right.
So if I'm not mistaken, they were sent 120 million. Is that? I think so. I think that's
this year. I got a significantly higher number, but I mean, I might not have done as much digging as you will. So we'll say that.
It's all good.
I got 789 mil.
But what I will say, and I think this is just a microcosm of why, in the past when they was talking about the taxes, this is why you should never really worry about the uber rich and corporations. Because number one, they never pay the rate that they're in. There's always different deductions that they have to not pay the effective rate.
Facts.
So if they in the 35% tax rate, they never pay that.
They're not paying 35.
They never pay that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So this is just a microcosm of, why people shouldn't be so worried about them. And the same goes for the uber rich, because essentially the uber
They're doing
rich,
the same thing.
They're corporations as well.
The same people doing cooking the books.
Yes.
Same people, working the books at these big Fortune 500 companies to make sure that, they have tax shelters and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you think they're not consulting on the side, you're out your mind. You're out your rabbit ass mind.
And then
they're working on the side. They're making sure somebody else gets the benefits, especially since they know them already, and it only seems right at that point. So before we dive too much deeper into it, I just want to let's paint the canvas, right?
Go ahead.
So in 2017, so to Ivy's point, this is the second year that Amazon has paid zero in federal income taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix also has done this. It's good to mention that, right? Amazon's not alone in this. Netflix is also reaping some of the benefits, but we're gonna keep this on Amazon, right? I don't want to get off topic. So 2017 Amazon revenue. You know what that number is?
No.
5.6 billion.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yep.
Total revenue.
Show it.
2018 total revenue.
11.2.
Amazon doubled their revenue in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever thought that Amazon wasn't big enough, in the last year they were able to sell us twice as much shit as they sold us in 2017.
Yeah, we're 80% of their market.
Yeah. So when we say that they're not paying taxes, it's not like they're not paying because they're expanding so fast and they don't have the federal taxes. They don't have the money. They effectively doubled their revenue in 1 year's time. Right? Thought that was interesting. And that was pretty much all I had for the backdrop.
Okay.
I got more notes here, but that's for discussion.
Yeah, but I think, and just to kind of go back on what you said earlier, you said something about Netflix. The only difference between them and Netflix is the fact that they are literally streaming service. Yeah. And that was kind of because I guess did that? Yeah, I guess it already did it. But back to what we were saying. It literally was Netflix is a streaming service, so there are certain tax deductions that are levied towards them that Amazon was able to utilize. Now, granted, there's a few things, obvious ones like the R&D tax credit. That's they get a lot of their tax deduction from research and development.
It's Amazon you talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Amazon, but Netflix too.
Okay.
So that's kind of the crossover, as well as in the last tax bill, companies are able to recover 100% of their investments in equipment that used to be 50%. So that's another kind of come up from the tax bill.
That's included under taxes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
I don't know if that would be a different way of amortizing or depreciating
but
assets.
prior they only could do 50%. So they're getting it all now.
Okay. Yeah,
so that incentive.
What's that mean? So what's that mean? Right? For a company like Amazon, because if you haven't seen the videos, they're heavily invested in like these AI robots or whatever. Their warehouses are practically Roombas. Bringing the products to the docks to be picked and shipped, right? So instead of having people on like forklifts and speedy pickers and whatever else, right? You have these robots that basically bring the product from wherever it's normally staged to one person that would take the product, put it into a package and put it up for fulfillment, right?
Yep.
So now they're buying a ton of equipment because they get reimbursed for it.
And then on top of that, the R&D with the drone stuff as well. Mm-hmm. So they're able to like fully invest and recoup all their money.
Yep.
So and that's a portion of R&D and this investment,
which is crazy because the fact that they basically have an unlimited R&D budget.
Yes.
Right. You give the biggest company,
but this is probably why they do.
Yeah, but if they aren't already, they're encroaching upon monopoly status.
It's gonna happen. They're gonna get them that Microsoft treatment.
They're encroaching upon it because when you give the biggest company, the biggest retailer in the United States already, that kind of advantage and allow them to just explore and innovate beyond where they already are, there's no way that Kohl's is going. There's no way Sears is going to catch up. No way.
But there's one last one, and this is the one I found most interesting.
Okay.
There's this little known tax deduction, and probably a lot of the big companies do, but I'm sure a lot of people aren't aware of it, just like I'm not aware of it. But they can deduct the cost of stock based on compensation. So if you're getting 401k or stock is part of your pay,
compensation package.
Either way, though, whether it's 401k or it's literally part of your pay, like executives are, they can use that as taxable earnings and deduct it. And the crazy thing about Amazon particularly is it actually works better as your stock rises. So their stock went through the fucking roof this year. So that actually helped them. That helped them
climbing like crazy for the past 8 years.
Yeah, the more those stocks rise, the bigger the deduction.
Yep.
So and the thing about that is, and the interesting thing about it doesn't cost them nothing to give stock to the employee. So essentially, it's like let's just give away stock.
Barring that they haven't distributed all of their stocks already.
True.
Right. So they still they're holding some, in essence, right? They're holding a ton of it, enough to where they can compensate their executives almost exclusively in it, right? So they avoid any of those antitrust and whatever laws and infractions that were brought upon, like Enron and stuff like that, because they're paying their executives $200-something million salaries and all this stuff. So Amazon avoids that. Says we're going to pay you in stocks, which is probably still worth about the same amount, but it's in stocks, right? So there's a risk that if the company doesn't perform, the stocks go down, and you don't make that much. But the upswing is also crazy, which is what you're talking about.
And the better the more the upswing, the better it is for our taxes.
Yeah.
So
everybody wins. Within Amazon.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's something I didn't realize, and I'm pretty sure a lot of companies take advantage of that. But that was something that they brought up. Was like, and it doesn't really even cost them nothing to do that.
Yeah.
Other than maybe there are other shareholders, if, say, for instance, they have to make more available, then it dilutes the stock.
Okay. Well, so on top of that, right, because I also had that on my notes, is that 45 passed a tax bill to reduce corporate taxes in 2017. Right? Coincidentally, this was the first year that Amazon didn't pay any taxes. So what this tax bill effectively does or did was lower the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. Right, so off rip, Amazon's getting a 14% tax savings. Right, because of this bill that 45 put into place. We're gonna leave it at that. Right, so
they say it's gonna help you out.
Yeah, and then in addition to that, they were allowed to defer their taxes. So they really. This is almost like collusion, right? When you talk the stock market and you talk insider trading, this is kind of what you had going on here. Is that, and maybe not directly, but what it is that you got lobbyists and probably really good. They're really good at their job, and they got a taste for what was about to happen to the tax structure, and told whoever the powers that be at Amazon to work out some deal with the government to where we can defer our taxes to a later date, because they knew that this tax bill was coming to lower the tax rate, right? So they did that, and they were grandfathered in, and they were allowed to defer their taxes, and then now they're saying, we want to pay our taxes at the current tax rate, which is 14% lower, right? This is how they were able to get the lower rate on what they would have paid this year, and end up getting that good federal refund. So for those that don't understand what we're saying is that Amazon made $11.2 billion and didn't have to pay the government no money, the federal government, no money. And in fact, in return, the government has to pay Amazon a couple $100 million.
Yes.
Right? This is lunacy, bro.
The rich get richer.
Because I'm doing my taxes and I'm trying to do everything by the book, but every time I put in something new, this little number goes down.
Yeah, my number goes down.
Yeah. We started off sitting pretty. And by the end, it's just like, you know what, man? I don't even know why am I claiming my wife on these taxes? I don't need to claim my wife on the taxes. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to claim investment accounts and all that. But to your point, the rich get richer. They know the loopholes. They know the people to make sure that they get the savings and the shelters that they need. Whereas the middle class and the lower class don't. It's not that we don't have access, but we don't have access.
No, we don't have access.
Truth be told, right? We're going to regular CPAs that they're doing the same middle class people taxes time and time again, and that's just how it is. So we get back a few deductions, but we're not finding loopholes and tax shelters and things of that nature.
But again, like I said earlier, man, I think this is just like a microcosm of why, and I don't understand why. I do understand why, and we can get into that real quickly. But I don't understand why people earnestly are worried about the rich and corporations' taxes. They are not going to ever pay whatever bracket they're in.
Talk to the people, man.
I mean,
talk to the people.
With that said, this also kind of brought something else to my mind, like the oil and gas industry. Why are these people still getting $20 billion in handouts from the government? Like we supposed, typically what these deductions or these they like to call them handouts, but these, I guess, for all intents and purposes, deductions, is really meant to help foster new industries like solar, wind, battery, to try to help, push the industry forward. Oil and gas is the definition of mature industry. Why are we still giving these people money? They get over $20 billion a year direct.
Lobbyists.
Direct. Like, they don't need it.
Lobbyists.
But yet they still, every time you turn around, they're talking about the have and have not, the takers, so to speak, and the quote unquote job creators.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there's stuff to be had, and you don't want to address it. But that's just that. And I get off my little
your soapbox.
Yeah.
Your hot take soapbox.
Yeah. But when I saw that, and I ain't even really mad at this. You know what I'm saying? Because as a businessman, I respect. As a businessman, I'm looking for every advantage I can get.
Yeah, absolutely. And
even when I was working for the government, and my job was to essentially ensure that people abide by the guidelines, I always respect the ones that found the little loophole. I'm sitting there like, I really want to get you, but
you went the extra mile.
Technically, you read that really good.
You did your homework.
Yeah, you did your fucking homework.
You did your homework. Yeah,
and I gotta salute you on that because I don't see this much, but I know what I'm dealing with now when I come to your site.
And that's what's interesting. That's why we always get into these kind of these bar conversations, right, where we start bringing up the business aspect and business implications of some of this. Is that we have some kind of formal, be it formal or informal, whatever you consider it, education on the other side. So we can see the business aspect, but we can also take a step back and say, hey, you motherfucker, like, this is not good for me.
Yes.
Right? It's like, yeah, that was a good chess move, but that's not good for me. Right? And a perfect example of somebody who has done this, who also was in the news related to Amazon, right? Not related to their taxes, well, indirectly related to their taxes, but related to Amazon backing out of the New York headquarters. That's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, my new favorite congresswoman.
New favorite.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Of all the people I've asked about her today, you were the first to say that you were in favor of her.
I like.
And I was asking New Yorkers.
I like that she's for the fight. I mean, they so in the moment I can see why they'd be upset about it. I mean, they won the jobs, but at the same time, I mean, they already not paying federal taxes, and essentially what they're about to do is not pay state taxes in your region.
So what they're doing is they're going each region that they open a fulfillment center or something. Each state they're ultimately leveraging the jobs that they're bringing, right, in return for a lower state tax or state tax rate. So where we said they didn't pay federal taxes, they did pay state taxes.
And locals,
local, state, regional taxes, right? So that's what they're doing. They're leveraging the opportunity they're bringing, the careers, the jobs, the the longevity of careers and opportunity in a region for lower taxation, ultimately, right? And interestingly enough, they did this whole HQ2 campaign where they were, putting it out there, right? Big social media crowdfunding kind of effort to identify the next home for Amazon's second headquarters. The first one's based out of Seattle. So cities like Atlanta, New York, everywhere. Yeah, pretty much everybody. Everybody wanted them to come there, and New York was selected. Queens specifically.
New York, and I think outside of Virginia, because they end up awarding two, because Virginia's still getting theirs. Okay.
Well, so New York's not getting theirs.
Yeah, outside of D.C.
Yep. Well, New York's not getting theirs, right? And this was interesting because ultimately Amazon felt that New York was a ideal candidate, right? An ideal place for their second headquarters because the mayor seemed to have rolled the red carpet out for him.
And ultimately, I think that's kind of the issue. And why it backfired. Because it seemed like the good old boy back office deal. And it wasn't very public how this came about. Now, granted, I can admit that that's pretty much how these big deals happen.
Yeah, of course.
But, I mean, I find it kind of refreshing to see that this is what can happen, good or bad. Because, I'm not against Amazon, per se. But when we, as the citizens of this country, of a particular city, unite together and ban, and it's like, this is not good for us. And apparently, this is not for tax reasons. It's not, and then it's just, I think, for instance, and I think you're going to get more involved in it. That people were kind of more up arms about. They already have an issue with gentrification. Up there, and this is just another example of this could happen again. Because I think, and to be quite honest,
it would.
And to be quite honest with you, I think with a lot, it's particularly like the big real estate developers are upset about. They didn't bought all that land up out there, and now they about to take a hose, about to get hosed on it.
Sucks for them.
Yeah.
So something that we didn't mention, and I'm backtracking a little bit, right? From the no federal taxes, right, is ultimately Amazon is using, they use government services to deliver their products, right? This is why it's crazy to me is that you use the USPS to deliver products, right?
The majority of
the USPS has taken like huge contracts. They deliver on the weekends now, whereas they didn't used to do that. USPS didn't used to deliver on Saturdays and Sundays. And now they will drop your package off on the weekends, right? But Amazon is contributing nothing to the USPS. They're contributing nothing to the United States interstates, right? Roads that their freights, right? I'm seeing all these Amazon trailers and things on the roads now. They're contributing nothing to the federal government, which those funds go back into funding, careers careers and infrastructure and things of that nature.
And interesting you say that, and that's why the rich and corporations pay more, because they use our infrastructure way more.
Yeah.
Like Bezos, yes, you should pay more.
Yeah.
Even in personal, because you made your wealth using our infrastructure.
Yep. So I thought that was interesting. We didn't touch on that. It couldn't go without saying.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the progressive tax plan, and that's pretty much what we have, a progressive tax plan, is set up for those that can pay to pay.
Yeah.
And the more you can, the more you will.
This is why, if you notice, the more money you make, the more you pay in taxes. If you didn't know that, you should Google it. The 2018, 2019, whatever, progressive tax rates, whatever. And it's like 1 to 10,000, you're paying like 10%. 10 to 19, you're paying like 15% or something like that. So the more money you make, your tier steps up. And it steps up once you cross that threshold, right? So, all right, we digress. To get back to Miss Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes.
Right? So she was in the news big. She spoke out against Amazon. And you did say she was for the fight, right? For the fight, meaning that she is New York native, New York City native, born and raised, right? And she believes in the city, and she believes in fighting for the city and the people of the city. And she saw this Amazon deal as a bad deal because they're going to bring this big corporation in. They're probably not. They're going to pay minimal taxes, if any at all.
Yes.
Right. Probably negotiate. Obviously, they're not paying any federal taxes, so they'll probably find another loophole there. And then it's like, what is going to be the benefit of having them here? They reap all the benefits, and they put nothing back into the environment.
And I guess just to take a step further, will they have any positive effect to the people that's already there?
Yeah.
Which is, the underprivileged, whether it's white, black, brown, whatever.
Which, if you do your homework, I don't think there's been any evidence of this anywhere that they operate. Right, they're there for themselves, and they do provide jobs, which is good, right?
Yeah.
That's a mutually exclusive benefit, though, right? They're providing jobs, which they reap benefits from, which benefits somebody else. So that's a wash, right? But are they doing anything for the community to which they don't reap any benefits, right?
Especially when you're not paying any taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
And at least the first few years, they weren't going like $3 billion. That's a lot of taxes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not 1 year.
Especially to be doubling your revenue.
Yeah,
from 5.6 to 11.2.
Especially in New York, like that's over years. That's probably a 10-year.
Yeah,
at least 5. Yeah. So that's for all intents and purposes, no taxes, bro.
So let's. I want to touch on some of the criticisms Miss Cortez is receiving. Right. Receiving a lot of criticism because she basically condemned Amazon, and was celebrating their deal falling through and them backing out of New York City. Right. Mm-hmm. So this company JCN, the Job Creators Network.
Yeah.
Okay. They did some research, independent labor statistics, and they found that this Amazon deal would have brought 25,000 careers to New York City, right? 25,000 jobs, and they're saying did we ever fact check this? 4 billion, 40 billion? I believe it was about $40 billion in salary income to the city. And there was a number there where they pulled like 10 billion or 1 billion, right, of that would have gone into the economy or something or another, right? So a lot of careers lost, a lot of jobs lost, a lot of revenue, a lot of just, financial money changing hands, basically.
Yeah.
It's, bringing that economic activity to the Queens, New York area. And some people, the Republicans, the right side, the conservatives, are pretty upset with her about this. What's your take on that?
Well, they got to silly her up. Right now, she's the media darling. She's the media darling. Everyone loves her. So they got to silly her up, and they scared of her. I mean, she's, for all this purpose, she shouldn't be here.
Okay.
But what I would also say is, that group, that particular group, JCN,
yeah,
they're funded by rich people.
Yeah, of course.
So that study is going to be jaded towards just sort of like the tax bill. Republicans always say it's going to pay for itself. It's not going to add no debt to the debt.
Yeah.
We just passed $22 trillion.
Adding debt.
Yeah.
We're increasing debt.
Yeah. That's the highest it's ever been, and it's increasing at a faster clip than it ever has in the last few years because it's not paying for itself.
Okay.
So they're using, not. What I will say is they lost jobs. That sucks. But yeah, we kind of talked about it last week. All money ain't good money. I do got some new lotion though. FYI.
Oh, here we go. That's definitely gonna be a fucking clip right there, man. That's gonna be a clip. All right, so sticking with Miss Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I like saying her name, even though it's very hard for me to remember that shit and say it all. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
AOC?
Yeah, AOC. So she was also in the news yet again.
About a week ago,
yeah. But I think the clip took off Yeah, I would say earlier this week, maybe around Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
With her, she was at a congressional hearing about, speaking about the cannabis industry.
Yes.
Right? Cannabis, weed, sativa, indica. I read that.
The sticky green.
That's right. The sticky icky. That Reggie.
Yeah. We try not to
Reggie.
be involved with it.
Oh, never mind. Let me not go there.
Try not to be involved with Reggie.
That's right. Okay. Well, so she was in a congressional hearing where, she got pretty vocal about the cannabis industry and what it's becoming, right?
Yeah.
And some of her observations.
And I feel like her argument against Amazon and this, and her stance on this basically stand
with the people
in line with each other, lockstep with each other.
She's the Latina Robin Hood.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, and if you look at the industry and you look at the numbers, minorities, black, brown, even Asian, and oddly enough, one of the people I do know is Asian, so I guess that's one of the outliers in that. But it's majority Caucasians.
Yeah,
that's in the industry now, the legal industry now, and it seems like they're doing everything they can to ensure that young brothers that have experience in that field, who probably could thrive in that field, cannot participate in that field.
Yeah,
at least on the ground floor, which is where you want to be to get that Bezos money.
All right, so I was being very PC about this shit. So what we're gonna say is that these motherfuckers arrested people of color for years. Yeah. Years and years of selling some dime bags and nick bags and quarter bags and gram, 2 grams, whatever of weed.
At a statistically higher rate.
War on drugs. These motherfuckers imprisoned these guys and threw them in the cells.
Targeted.
Right? Targeted these guys, the people of color who are selling these drugs. And now that they're legal and these people are in prison, the same white people that imprisoned them and that arrested them and took their freedom away are investing heavily in the cannabis markets.
Yep, that too. Yep,
and being rewarded quite heavily.
Yeah,
right.
It's already $1 billion industry.
So, absolutely. So, and that's just what's legally on the books.
Yeah.
There's still people out here selling Reggie. Hold on.
Like my man on old school say. Like my man on old school say, yeah, I'm worth $3 million that the government know about. Yeah.
Lil Duval got on me about something like that too. Shout out to Lil Duval. You worth what Google say, nigga. I don't care. Lil Duval is worth what Google say he worth. He ain't got no more. He rich broke. But yeah, it's outrageous. It's outrageous that it's outrageous to think that the people who are stereotyped for participating in this industry are not participating in this industry.
Yeah, and can't participate.
Right? And can't participate in this industry. And the industry is taken off and they're looked at as, criminals.
Well, and that's what I guess we're leaving that out. That essentially a lot of these industries, these states that have legalized it, have essentially made it to where you can't have a felony or misdemeanor to get certain documentations, licenses and fees. Yep. You can't have none of that. But these people essentially have misdemeanors and felonies from nonviolent weed charges.
Yep.
So essentially, the industry that they've been working in, they can't work in it because
they've been blocked out.
Yeah.
Bureaucratic red tape.
And then it's
bullshit.
And then also it's also a situation where like it could be someone, similar to myself, where I don't have any of that baggage, but I still can't get in the door because I don't know the right people, and because it's still about who you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's all but we can't hold that against them. Can we?
We can.
I don't know.
Because I mean, I look at it like from our perspective. We talked about that last week about it. Don't matter where you at as far as in corporate America or even in government, they're practicing quote unquote diversity.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
if they're there, the quote, hey, it can be there. Why not? Again, this is about open the doors and giving the opportunities to everyone. And if everyone that came through your door or everyone that you gave the licenses to look like you, where's the opportunity?
Yeah, agreed. And I'm not. I mean, I'm completely against it. I think that the bans on the people that were arrested for, especially if it was literally weed, right, which is being legalized pretty much across the board.
They can't do it fast enough.
Yeah,
in most places,
it's being legalized. It will eventually be legal in the country. Which, when you think about it, I mean,
I feel
alcohol's legal, and more people. I mean, shout out to
I feel like
Glenn Hode, or Glenn Fodry. I read that shit completely backwards. But it's like alcohol is any argument you can make for marijuana. You can make the same arguments for alcohol, right? It impairs judgment, sure. Can something happen with somebody having impaired judgment? Sure. Why is alcohol legal, right? And remember, at one point in time, alcohol was illegal during the Prohibition era, right? So we're essentially facing or in the marijuana prohibition right now, and it will become legal at some point in time.
I wouldn't be shocked if old 45 on his way out the door
just says, you know what?
Keep the party going.
Sparks it up. That'd be interesting, right? If he let's keep the party going. Yeah. Who was that?
Who was that?
Whose bit is that?
Who was that? I don't know.
Is that Chappelle?
I think maybe.
Is Chappelle? No, it's got to be a king of comedy. I think it's one of the kings of comedy. But anyway, it's interesting you say that because AOC was asked how she would feel if the president would smoke weed, and she took a very extremely liberal stance and said that she wouldn't mind if the president smoked weed. How do you feel about that?
From what perspective? What you mean?
They were asking her about her congressional hearing or whatever, her stance on cannabis, and she's saying you speak very,
But I mean, as far as him smoking, what you mean? As far as
she said, would you mind if the acting president smoked weed?
Right now, or
when he's in office?
I don't think I would care.
Interesting.
I don't think I would care. I mean, I'm sure he drinks. Well, he don't drink, do he?
I don't know what 45 do. He don't comb his hair.
I don't think he drinks.
That's the one thing I can tell you he don't do. He don't comb his hair.
He just eats bad. His diet is horrible.
Oh, those are all American companies.
Hey man, I'm just saying, like
those are proud American companies. That McDonald's and that Wendy's.
He say he loves our farmers, but he can get fresh farm to table.
I think Trump eating pretty good, man. But man, we digress. We're getting off topic.
Well, I mean, what, do you have a problem with him smoking? If he were to smoke,
I don't know, man. I got an interesting take on
I think I have more of a problem if the last attorney general was found to be a smoker.
But in essence, if the president can smoke, the attorney general can smoke.
No,
if the president can smoke, anybody in office can smoke.
No, when I say that, I mean that guy was completely a prohibitionist. He didn't believe, and he's trying to crack down on it and wants to crack down on it.
So he's probably smoking behind closed doors.
Probably, just like a lot of.
So I don't know. That's interesting to me, and I'm all for if you're gonna legalize it. Do something similar to what you did with alcohol, which can be improved upon. I think, right, where you got the legal limit of intoxication or whatever, blood alcohol content level, whatever. Do something similar to that, and let it be, right? But as far as people being impaired in office and all that, like, nah, I think he needs his judgment. We don't need the president, thinking it's funny. Oh, you don't need the president thinking it's funny to hit the big red fucking button in the command center, bro.
So I'm not talking
being on Air Force One is just laughing, giggling, eating Cheetos, and slapping the big red button.
I guess let's get serious about this. Then I mean, it's not like you are allowed or it's acceptable to drink on the job now. So it's the same principle.
That's not saying that people don't do it.
I mean, and if they're in positions that calls for immediate drug testing,
sure,
they're gonna get caught.
But I still think, man, I don't know.
But it's still frowned upon, though. Like you said, it's still frowned upon.
I just don't think that I don't know. Presidents get vacation, so maybe on the vacation, all right, but emergencies can happen at any time, and I think the president needs to be vigilant. I think people in those high-ranking offices, they gotta be vigilant, man. You're only there for 4 years. Like you could put the Dutchy down for 4 years, man. Put the Reggie up.
But I feel like past presidents have enjoyed a glass of wine or a glass of libations before. So what would be the difference? In their downtime, after dinner, with dinner, what's the difference?
I honestly don't know, man.
So that's how I look. That's how I looked at it.
Man, I say this.
The only reason why I would care though is because he doesn't have to worry about going to jail, where there's still millions of particularly black and brown skinned individuals that's still being adversely affected by this quote unquote war on drugs.
That's right. And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna try to get in on this. I don't know how, but find somebody with something going on out in Colorado or Washington and get in at the ground level, man. We gotta get some dispensaries going.
Got to.
Hey, if you listening out there, and you selling drugs and you selling weed, all right, that's all I'm speaking to. Leave the H and everything else alone, right? If you selling weed on the streets illegally right now, you need to, sell a couple nicks, a couple dimes, a couple quarters, whatever. Get you a plane ticket to Colorado. Go out there and figure out how you can legitimize your business.
Or Washington,
right?
Or California,
or Washington, or California. California is still it's not to the levels of Colorado. I don't think.
Oh, it's all the way legal now. Like you don't need a card anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought they were still doing the medical thing like what Florida's doing right now.
It's recreational now.
Okay. Anyway, if you selling weed illegally right now in any of the other 47 states that I did not just mention, right? If you're not in Cali, Washington, or Colorado, you need to save up some of your drug money, get a plane ticket to one of those states, and figure out how you can legitimize your company, your business, right? Your business model, legitimize it, and then the same homeboys that you got back where you from, the hood where you from, you need to bring them along. You need to be the CEO, you need a CFO, you need a COO. Literally legitimize it, right? Because if you don't, we will not be represented in the industry, and there ain't too many Alexandria Cortezes out there to take that stance and to fight for. So we need y'all to, take a weekend, take a hiatus, from the block, and I mean this, right? I'm not judging or nothing like that. Take a hiatus. Figure out how to legitimize yourself, legitimize your partners and your homeboys. When somebody come home from getting charged with something like this, you need to bring them home and put them on their feet, right? They don't need to hold a license or nothing like that, but maybe they know how the distribution game works. Put them in charge of distribution or something where they don't got to hold a license. That's the only way we're going to take back the power in this industry. That's it, right? That's all I got on that. Yeah. You want to give them the good news, the other good news from New York, since the bad news or good news, however you want to consider it. Of losing Amazon.
I guess in the last week or so they've banned discriminating against ethnic hair styles, particularly of I guess
people of color, man.
Yeah,
people of color.
And I guess and that this is I guess a situation that touches me, because that was a situation not too long ago in Louisiana that kind of touched me, and it was disturbing to me.
They made the girls. Did they suspend her?
Yeah, they suspended her, and she basically had fucking braids, man.
Yeah,
like they sent her home because she had braids. They suspended her because she had braids.
The girl was crying and stuff. Yeah, embarrassed her and all that.
Because she had braids, and they were clean. Like you could tell, she just came from the down.
Yeah, head was still hurt. She had eyebrows up, everything. Couldn't even put her eyebrows down. Poor girl.
I think she might have been 12, 13.
Something like that. She was young. She was a teenager. But that's, not to take away from it, right? That's a push in the right direction. And New York City is one of the more progressive cities in the nation. So the fact that they did this, I think they deserve a round of applause, right? So can we? Got to mix it up so we don't confuse it with the.
Until we get the
action. Yeah, until we get an official clapper. So, that's it. That's it for politics, man. This was real heavy in politics this week for you. And business and politics. Yeah. Those are topics that I think you... I like business. You like politics. But
politics is big in business, because you got to know what's going on so that you can read those policies and figure out how can I beat this rule.
Yeah. I guess. So we're gonna get to something that that we both have a mutual interest in, and that is we're gonna get to some sports gossip, sports gossip news. What's first on the docket? First on the docket,
my man.
Oh, damn it! I hate when I remember shit after the fact.
Go ahead.
You said that you got to know somebody in the industry. Corey, what is his name? Corey Barnett.
Okay,
was the congressman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was addressing. This is a black man who owns a cannabis corporation based out of D.C.
Yeah, because that's one of the places it's legal too.
He is also a member of Kappa Alpha. Oh shit, Alpha Kappa Psi.
What is that?
Am I fucking up?
Yeah,
it ain't Alpha Cap. Oh goddamn, man! I blame it on the Glen Fodry. Kappa Alpha Psi.
Oh, he's a new
fraternity.
That boy a new?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm gonna say first. Alpha Kappa.
Yeah, I put it like
I put the nigga in the AKAs.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm saying like where you going? I was like,
I put the nigga in the AKAs. Then put him in the.
That was like, is he
Alpha
Alpha?
Kappa Psi?
Is he Alpha? Okay. That's what's up. So you said
I put the nigga.
So what is his name again? What's the brother name again?
Corey Barnett, man. Corey Barnett. Yeah. Go ahead and reach out to him, man, and tell him that we want our foot in the door. Yeah. I see you right. I made sure to take note of that. Your shots with Miss Cortez are out the window, though. I'm letting you know that right now. You signed up with him and become a millionaire. You ain't got a chance of hell with her.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I mean,
power of the dollar.
I mean, someone got to pay for those.
Power of the dollar is greater than the power of the P.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe. All right, man. So let's get into it. From one frat brother to the other frat brother. Mm-hmm. And that's Kappa Alpha Psi.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my man.
No. We not. Who you shouting now?
I'm about to shout out to my man Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can go ahead and shout out them boys, them pretty news over there out one of the widest bins on the bluff.
I don't know none of that shit, man. Okay.
Alpha Sigma.
Here we go. Shout out to Kata.
Where I was made. And it's Kappa Week.
Shout out to Kata.
Yo.
Omega Psi.
Matter of fact, today is our Founders Day. Yo. Yeah. I'm sitting there thinking like, it's Kappa Week. Today is Founders Day.
I was kind of thinking that myself. Here, man. Toast to that. Happy Founders Day, man.
Yeah.
Happy Founders Day. Stroll. You should stroll us up, man.
All day today we get.
You should stroll us up. You should get a camera. Give the main camera. Give Ivy Main a little shoulder work.
Yeah. February 22nd, 1935, baby. Yo. Southern University.
There you go.
The mothership. But at any rate, get back to the topic. My man Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed, another Southern boy, not Southern at Southern University, but definitely from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
They settled with the NFL.
They settled
the
with
Overlords.
The NFL. Yeah, on the what was that? The collusion.
Yeah.
Collusion case. One of them big words to start with a C. I think it's collusion.
Yeah.
But they settled that case. So for those that don't know, Colin Kaepernick has had this case against the NFL, and the owners basically saying that they blackballed him ultimately, right? That they're not basing his employment upon his ability to perform. Mm-hmm. And that was evident in the number of quarterbacks that were in the league, active, starting, not starting, that Colin Kaepernick was better than, which I'd say is about half of them. I think if you just went 50% in the NFL and says Colin Kaepernick better than the left 50%, the answer is absolutely yes. Mm-hmm. He's probably ranked higher. He might be in the 75 to 100%, whatever. But without a shadow of a doubt, he's better than 50% of the league. Right now. Mm-hmm. Right now. Not when you see him in the video actually training. I'm talking right now. This nigga could be at dinner eating sushi. He could throw a pass right now.
He's definitely better than a lot of guys that are in the league right now. I mean, we kind of touched on another topic talking about the baggage of having been
come on, man, get it out.
Yeah, having having a rap sheet. The baggage of having a rap sheet and getting to that game. His baggage was more or less Trump, coalescing his stance against police brutality and making it seem like he's going against the men
the flag.
Yeah,
Soldiers.
in uniform.
The armed forces.
But
shout out to the armed forces.
With that said, I'm seeing huge numbers: 60 million, 80 million, 100 million.
Oh yeah, big money, big money. He got an NFL contract out of it. I bet that's what he did.
I don't know.
That had to be the grounds. They had to say, hey, if he would have signed a contract, this would have been a 4-year, right? And it probably wouldn't have been a huge contract because NFL contracts aren't that big. But some players do get them.
So I will say, when I've seen that, when I first thought of he's gonna get paid, I was thinking more like 40 between the two of them.
Okay,
40, because that's good money.
But is the number speculating on him or him and Reed? Probably just him. What they're thinking he's suspected to have made.
It still don't matter. I mean, they're in my mind, they are selling, and it's going to be based on what he would have made, and he was going to make $100 million. I think potentially he could have.
Over how many years?
Well, I'm just saying, like, because what he was going through. Now he would definitely probably got about $12 million a year. Because where he was coming from after the 49ers, he was coming off of a down year. I mean, he did okay. Mm-hmm. He had numbers better than a lot of people that still got contracts. But, he was coming off a $20 million a year. Yeah. And he wasn't going to get that.
Okay.
He didn't earn that.
Okay. Well.
Sorry, brother. You just got to keep it real.
Gotta keep it real with the noobs. I thought it was interesting, man, that he settled, and I'm hearing mixed chatter in the streets, right? And I don't know why I'm hearing mixed chatter, because I'll say this, right? We're standing with Cap, and I don't even like saying we're standing, right? Because he took a knee. So we were taking a knee with Cap. We were kneeling with Cap in his fight against police brutality. Mm-hmm. And then all along he had this case going on, because this case is 2 or 3 years old. This is a 2, 3, maybe even 4-year-old case at this point. Right, that was going on all this time.
It's been going on at least since 17, because I think he took the knee in 16, right?
Yeah, at the end of the season,
and then at the end of that season, he didn't get a contract, and that's when
what year was Mike? I think it was the year.
And then that was when he put.
So we're pushing 3 years. Yeah. Well, let's call it 3 years, right? So a lot of people took a knee with him. A lot of people banned the NFL or boycotted the NFL and all this to stand with Cap. And now they're saying Cap has settled with the NFL, and they're confused. They don't know what to think. I'm hearing people calling him a sellout, which I don't agree with. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that stance. And I'm hearing people, celebrating him. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I guess I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not upset that he settled. I mean, what? So I guess on one hand, I feel like once you mention that, I'm like, okay, well, the number went up. So, but anyway, when they made it to where he couldn't talk about it, disclose what he got, then that just made me think, okay, it did go up. But as far as how I feel that he took the money, I'm like, I think we talked about this a little bit last week about the whole Steve and Monique situation, whereas I do align more with Steve, and as my man Jay-Z said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, man, he has foundations that, he can use this money to help fund and do a better job. And look, man, at the end of the day, he's already done, a lot. Okay.
So, my issue with the whole Steve and Monique thing, where I think people, ourselves included, because we kind of played off of the argument that the public was putting out there, right? Which is integrity versus money. And it's almost like you can have either or. And I don't think that's what Steve and Monique's conversation was ultimately about. Mm-hmm. I don't think they were really seeing eye to eye, and I don't think they were discussing the same thing, right? No, I said it last week. I think one was kind of taking something personally, and one was trying to give them advice on, if you're going to take this stance, there's a better way to do it, right? Last week we were talking about how to perform, right, and maintain your integrity. But I think more so, Steve was saying to Monique, ultimately, is that, if you're going to be out here, telling people's dirty laundry, which is what she was doing. Because he talked to her about, if you're going to be telling the truth, right? If you're going to be telling the truth, there's a way to go about it.
Okay.
And I don't think she went about it the right way. I don't think Steve's criticism was of her material or her even negotiating. And this might be different than my point last week was, because I went and sat with it a little more and watched the actual interview and things. And I just think Monique, hers was rooted in, I'm decorated, so you should pay me. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's her argument. She kind of took that personally to me and then went about how she wanted to address it the wrong way. And now she's dealing with the fallout from that. Yeah. That's all that is. Right? Kaepernick's situation to me he's got his integrity to me. He took a knee. Mm-hmm. And when they said, why are you taking a knee? Taking a knee for police brutality. Yep. Right? To bring attention to it, because I don't feel like we're serving this flag, we're doing a disservice to this flag by pretending like this isn't going on. These people are supposed to protect and to serve, and they're not doing it. So until they are, I'm going to take a knee, right? Until the people who are supposed to protect us live up to the values that this flag represents. So if anything, he's putting the flag at the highest of highest, right? Mm-hmm. It's at the pinnacle to him. And he's saying that we're not reaching that. So he's not going to stand because he feels like we are falling short of what that flag represents. Now you take that to the NFL. He was in the NFL while he was knee. His career was the NFL, right? He's still protesting, peacefully, might I add. He's still hired by the NFL. It's just the stage, the platform he chooses to stage his protest. So now the NFL won't hire him, right? And for whatever reason they won't hire him, he seems to think that it was collusion. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's collusion.
It's collusion case, right? Yeah. So basically the owners are colluding against him to keep him from playing for any team. Mm-hmm. The owners, the NFL, and I'm pretty sure he's sued all the owners. Including the actual NFL, because each organization is its own organization.
Well, that's who paid the $100 million.
Yeah. Who?
The owners.
Okay, yeah. So, but just so people know, that each organization is its own organization, and the NFL is like a governing entity to tell them how to operate.
Essentially, they're the federal government of football.
Yeah, that's it.
Because all the league, all the different teams pay the league to run the league.
That's right. There you go. So, he sued them, and he won. What integrity did he sacrifice? He had a lawsuit because they wouldn't hire him, even though he was more than qualified. They basically discriminated against him for whatever reason. It's an illegal reason. And he won. Yeah. Right? So I think everybody's saying, or challenging his integrity right now, it's too early to be seen. If you are going to make that argument, it's too early right now. And I think you can't make that argument until a team picks him up, until he takes the field for his first game, until that national anthem is sung. And this is a big assumption, right? This is an assumption in this whole scenario, is that police brutality has to not be corrected in that moment. So police brutality...
What you mean by that?
I'm saying that if you're challenging his integrity, right, you can't do it now, because all he did was win a case that he was rightfully owed. Yeah. Because the team picks him up, hires him, he's playing football, and he doesn't take a knee, even though police brutality is exactly the same now as it was when he originally took his knee. Then, I'm not saying that he is, I'm saying then you can make that argument. Then you can take that stance and say you don't trust his integrity.
Well, I would say, but now that they do have rules about it now. Whereas when he started, there was no rule.
Okay.
Now, I guess the biggest thing is, will he be on the field? Because now that's the one thing that they still can do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming since he won this case that it's illegal to collude against him. Yeah. Right. You settled, so out of case. So you didn't see any. There was no. You might have won, but this was going to go on for a long time, and it was probably hurting you more to have this going on than it is to get it in the behind you.
And that's what I was saying. Like they felt like they had a losing case. And they was going to end up, and they was going to end up losing anyway. So why not?
But not only
squash it, but you know what I'm saying, squash it and make it go away.
I don't think it's only about losing because I think ultimately they got more money than
when
him.
it's called when you rich, it is winning and losing. That's how they win and lose.
But no, that's not how all things legal work. Sometimes they just drag legal battles out until you drain one side or the other. And I think that they could have. I think that the owners collectively could have done that to him. But you got to think that with Kaepernick, what he stands for right now, right? He is this deity.
Yeah, and
right. He is a deity to the NFL that stands for the shield, right? The NFL, the shield is supposed to stand for something. So hold on. Let me get this off, man. The shield's supposed to stand for something, right? The shield is supposed to stand for something. And right now, you got a single man, this one dude, this deity, who stands for something greater than the shield, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think the NFL. I think they realize that. I think they realize that Kaepernick is bigger, and over these past couple of years has been bigger than the NFL as an entire brand. And I think that by keeping him in the forefront, they are bringing more attention to him and dividing their consumer base.
So I wouldn't agree that he's bigger than the NFL, but I do agree that he's been a lot bigger thorn in their side because they never thought I would imagine they thought he would go away, and they didn't think that a big entity like Nike would prop him up either.
Look, I'm gonna say this, man,
and I think that had a lot to do with them. I think that had a lot to do with them eventually caving. To be quite honest with you, because I know they never saw that coming. I didn't see it coming. Who saw that coming?
Look, I'm gonna say this, man. I don't know about you, but I think right now, Cap got the hottest jersey in the league, and he ain't even in the league. I done tried. I saw you
reach out to him.
Hey, man, I've infiltrated the ranks of the Noops, guys.
10 minutes, huh?
I've infiltrated. I infiltrated the ranks of the Noops. For those that don't know what I did, since we both, co-run the Hot Takes Half Truth Instagram page. Dog, I'm messaging Cap left and right, man. Let the Noops get a jersey, man. Let the Noops get a jersey, man. We need 2 larges, Cap. Cap, if you're hearing this, man, let's get 2 larges, man. I had the alert set.
Yeah.
I had the alert set. I hit the button when it popped up. I was still too late. Chameleonaire got one.
Yeah, they said it was sold out in 10 minutes.
Come on, man.
So that's impressive.
It had to be sooner than that because I couldn't get one low.
And what, it was like $200? It was like $150 or $200.
It was up there. I don't know. Resale was going for like $3. So I was like, I can't fade that with the baby on the way. But Cap, if you hearing this, man, your boy. Yeah, hey, what they say? Yo, Noop, how it go?
Yeah,
there you go, Cap, man. Let the Noops and the
Five
Bros.
Club, baby, 5 Club.
Let the Noops, he a 5?
I'm a 5 Club.
I'm a 5. Let the Noops and the Bros, man. Let the Bros get 2 jerseys, Cap. Come on, man, help us out.
But the one thing I will say,
y'all send this to Cap, tag Cap in this video, man, so we can get 2 jerseys.
I guess we kind of about them, but just to kind of circle back on the money part, I keep saying this, man. And I mean this. If she's willing to fall on that sword, and the one caveat that I always was saying, and the one thing that we know about Cap is we know the whole circumstance as far as how the president tried to co-opt what he was doing into something negative. We don't really know what's going on behind. And like I said last week, I don't think I said it. I wasn't effective enough in saying it. If with someone like her with all the awards, all the accolades that she has, went to Netflix, and people of similar ilk went and got far more, then why wouldn't she be upset? And at that point, if she's willing to fall on the sword and feel like the people that she called friends, a couple years ago aren't there for her.
So this is what I'm going to say on that. And it is what it is, right? If
I can respect it.
And I'm not saying that she's not. So I got 2 things on that. One, again, what I just rehashed with Steve Harvey. I don't think the argument is that don't make that argument for yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't make that case for yourself. I don't think Steve was telling her not to do that. And I seen a lot of people giving Steve shit, saying like, oh, well, Steve already said he would do anything, and replaying like his old skit from Planet of the Apes and all that. It's like, it's comedy, people. Like, come on. He's a man of integrity, right? If you look at the books that he's written, whether you agree with his him word for word or not word for word, right? He's never come out with a book that says, hey, women, do this. And then the next book release was like, women, you should be the complete opposite, right? Whether you agree with his logic or not, or what he said or not, right? He's not coming out here and telling people to absolutely sell out on himself. That's not what he's saying, right? And if you take that bit from his joke saying that like that is his character after all, do you think that there's actually a Deirdre from Kevin Hart's bit? Do you believe everything you hear and see in entertainment? Like, it's a bit. It's a bit. Comedians are meant to take something and show you a different perspective about it, right? And use comedy as the vehicle to get you to think about to see a different perspective. So that's that on Steve Harvey. As far as Monique goes, I think that it's all in her delivery. It's okay to fall on the sword, right? If you want to equate this to Kaepernick's argument, Kaepernick needs to be being uncivil. I'm not going to. Okay, fine. I'm just saying. If anybody else is trying to do that, right?
Yeah.
If anybody else is trying to do that, then Kaepernick needs to be uncivil. He needs to be unclassy, right? Everything about how he did this, he's been peaceful. I can give you all the positives of what he's been doing. He's been peaceful, right? He's been very classy about it. He's been very specific about what the protest is about, as to not offend anyone else. He's actually asked a veteran what he should do, right? He went about this the best way that you could go about it, in comparison to Monique, who was told no, and then all of a sudden it's a promo run and calling people out that have nothing to do with her deal and exposing other people's contracts and their money. There's a reason why entertainers don't say how much they make on these deals, right? It's the first topic we started off with today: taxes. If you're telling people, I made 13, 14 million on that, somebody with the IRS is like, well, we need to see 13 million in the books for that show right there, right? So she's uncovering a lot of people's dirty laundry and then expecting to be, her argument to be heard. And it's like, no, you offended me. You exposed something about me that I didn't need exposed. I don't fuck with you. And that's what it is. So if she goes about it a different way, I think maybe she gets better results with Netflix. But I think more so, she's more respected by her peers, and then people are willing to hear her argument and get on board with her. I think that's where she messed up at.
Maybe. And again,
that's me. That's me. Fall on that sword, baby girl. But just don't pull me down with you.
But I will say, I don't think she actively went on that promo. People asked her to come to talk about that.
All right, man. You can say no. You can say no. Monique, you can say no. You know what they want to talk about.
She wanted her side of the story out there.
All right. So, keeping with sports.
Yeah, we should
keep with sports. We're not going to leave the NFL just yet. We're going to stay here because y'all some nasty niggas in the NFL, man.
Especially
you a nasty nigga, man.
You old white boys.
Old white dudes, you win you a Super Bowl and you just don't know how to act down here in Florida, man.
Start hanging out with Meek Mills. Don't know how to act.
Mr. Kraft, please approach the bench. Please step out of the massage parlor and approach the bench. Caught your ass with a teepee in the massage parlor, man. Robert Kraft, you a nasty man, bro.
I find that
caught your nasty ass.
Man, I think I told you this earlier. The biggest thing I found funny about it is how that is literally like 10 minutes away from here. Like 10, 15 minutes away from here, we could be at that spot.
This man won the Super Bowl and came down to old sunny West Palm. Down to sunny Palm Beach County, get a rubbing tub.
Yeah, I was about to say he went to Jupiter. He stayed with the money. He stayed with the money.
He up there with Jordan. Jordan is probably with him. Jordan peeled off, man. He saw the heat coming.
Yeah.
Jordan and Tiger saw the heat coming.
Jordan got too much money around here.
Tiger knew
they
he
take care of Jordan.
Tiger knew he couldn't get caught up in no more bullshit. Tiger was out, man. Robert Kraft, man, you a nasty man. That's all we got to say on that, man.
It's ironic.
That's it. That shit just popped up, I'm getting a haircut. Very ironic. I'm getting a haircut, and they talking about how they done, raided all these massage and spa type places for sex trafficking and all this shit. And I'm just like, damn, right up the street, Martin County, like not even that far away. And then right after that, they air Robert Kraft. caught up in sexual, let me see. I got the
soliciting.
Yeah, Robert Kraft.
2 counts.
Arrested for soliciting sex at a massage parlor.
2 counts.
You're a nasty man, Robert Kraft.
Yeah, man, they trying to get it. Hey, and the funny thing about it, he has a girlfriend, a young girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who had a baby.
Hey, she ain't clearly.
Not for him. It's still his girlfriend though.
Oh, the baby's not his?
Yes.
Oh well. I can't fault him for that.
It's been his girlfriend since what? I think 13. Mm-hmm. She had the baby last year. Mm-hmm. That's funny. That's interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get off of that while y'all sitting here, frowning at my man Cap and Reed and other players, in the NFL and stuff, and then look what the owner's doing. Mm-hmm. Nasty niggas. Y'all some nasty ass niggas. All right, so let's get to the next one. Tim Donaghy.
Those who don't know, he's a former NBA referee
who was fired and arrested and thrown in prison.
Promptly.
Who served 15 months in federal prison. For what, Ivy? Why did he serve 15 months?
Betting on games that he ref. Is that simple?
Hey, my man out there blowing the whistle with 20 on the spread, man.
Yes.
With 20 bands on the spread.
And did it well. So initially they said he, basically did it for a year. Mm-hmm. But of lately, and this is why it's a topic of interest today, they basically said he did it for 4 years. Well, yeah, 4 years, 2003 to 2007.
I don't know. I didn't get that. I didn't gather that. But everybody's done a different investigation, right? So the NBA did an investigation, the FBI did an investigation. Mm-hmm. Everybody did their own kind of investigation. Yeah. But the problem with how they conducted their investigations is that they all said, "Hey, how'd you do your investigation? This is how I did my investigation. All right, I'm gonna do your investigation and see what I get." Mm-hmm. All right, so they were all literally looking at the same thing. Okay. Looking at the same thing, and they got the same results in what they were looking at. So, to give some backstory to this, Tim Donaghy was indicted for fixing games. I don't know the official off offense that he was charged with or whatever, but it's a federal crime given that the NBA is played in all these states across state borders, whatever. Yep. But specifically, the investigation was of the 2006 to 2007 season. All right, 2006, specifically the 2006-2007 playoff season is what the FBI, NBA, and there was one other, I think the referee union and somebody else, right, did an investigation of. Mm-hmm. And so this was a long time ago. This is over 10 years ago that he was arrested.
And that's essentially what they were doing. They said basically year 10, decade later, let's revisit it. To look it up. Yeah.
Let's revisit it. That's what started it. So ESPN, being a third party, who, other than their, I guess the stake they have in buying in broadcasting sporting events, right, mm-hmm. is removed from the NBA, right? So they put some of their reporters on it, and their reporters came up with a interesting conclusion to this investigation. Mm-hmm. From what I recall, they took what the FBI, NBA referees union looked at, right? And they said, okay, this is interesting. All three of these different agencies did their investigations, came to the same conclusion. But it's but how can you for certain say this guy wasn't fixing games? Mm-hmm. Right? How can you say it? So what they decided to do was take a larger sample size, which instead of just including the 2006 to 2007 playoff games, they went back to the very first instance that they could see that he was co-conspiring with whoever it was his
bookies and stuff.
Yeah, his bookie, his
and childhood friends too.
There's a certain slang term I was looking for, but whatever.
Accomplice?
No, it's Killer Mike kept saying it. What did he say? It's when he was saying you had to have the drug dealers and the money dudes. Whatever. We'll cut this little piece out. It's a certain word that the bookkeeper.
Loan shark?
Nah, it's not a loan shark. It's that, but it's another word for it. All right, but ultimately, the first
numbers man.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's not as climactic as I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to kind of ring off a little bit more, but yeah, the numbers, man, right? So ESPN went back to the very first instance of where they had evidence that he was co-conspiring with the bookies, the numbers, man.
And it started back in 2003.
Yep. And their investigation included 40 games instead of, I think, the 17 that the NBA did or so. I think it was 7 or 17 or something like that. And interestingly enough, I mean, do you have the numbers pulled up?
I can't find no numbers.
Okay. Well, I had a video. Y'all can YouTube it. Maybe we'll do one of the things on YouTube, put it like here or there once we figure out how to do this shit in the editor. Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll link it. The ESPN found that, of the 40 games, 10 had to be thrown out because they were just absolute blowouts. Mm-hmm. So it's like he can't really be impacting this because his team's losing by like 30, 40 points. So that left him 30 games, and of the 30 games, it was like a 77% hit rate of what, who he was betting for, and who won. And who won the game and by how much.
Who was the favorite,
yeah.
Essentially.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. That's he basically went with the favorite.
Yep. So there you go. 77%. And there's some more numbers in there, but just interesting, man, that like the FBI couldn't get it, the NBA couldn't get it, and even David Stern took the stand and basically said, hey, we looked, and I'm paraphrasing here, but his demeanor was like, we looked and we wanted to find something, but we couldn't find nothing. And since we couldn't find anything, I think it's safe to say that like he wasn't fixing the games, right? Because that clears him of having to answer this shit for years and days and weeks and months to come. It kind of clears the NBA's name of having dirty refs.
It did,
right? It puts all that to sleep, and then Donaghy goes off, serves his federal time, and then you never see him again in the NBA. So this all dies basically with that conclusion.
And that's what they hope until this week.
Until ESPN, damn ESPN. I bet you the NBA's rates just went up. Boy.
Oh yeah, they watch it.
The NBA's rates have just gone up. Oh, you want to show our games on Thursday nights? Mm-hmm. Huh, that's interesting.
But I guess the one thing the couple stories I did read, basically what they said, statistically speaking, it was basically impossible for anyone else to say that another ref would have called those games exactly the same. Like, it was so... statistically speaking, they said they couldn't... Like, what he was doing... how the games were being called and what happened in those games, and that they fell within the spread so much. Like...
you got 1,000 variables.
Yeah, so it was like, it's impossible for them to say that another ref...
I don't think you could... I don't think this is a quantitative analysis.
But what I will say, I think there's smoke there, and the only reason why I say there's smoke there is because they did interview cohorts and his wife. They interviewed people around him and his wife. So what I found interesting is that people around him, and even some of the quote unquote industry folks, and that when I say industry, people that bet for a living, it seemed, or at least the people they talked to, maybe they wanted to feel more important than they were. But it seemed like they kind of was hip onto it, even to the extent that the people that he was working with, because essentially the way it worked was, I think he had like a childhood friend. He was basically his contact, and the childhood friend was still in basically the neighborhood. Because essentially what the story kind of alluded to, that everyone in Philly basically has a bookie, or knows a bookie. So this is kind of how the connection was. Like, basically his friend still had the bookie. He's the gambler, and he kind of worked through him. And they kind of had a couple points in the story where he was kind of worried that it became too obvious. And then from the wife's perspective, she started kind of figuring things, like, 'cause they said that, and again, this is all hearsay, but Tim was saying basically he had, it took everything to like hide the money. And she was saying stuff like she would find wads of $100 bills in his like NBA jackets when she going to like wash them.
Yeah.
And it's like, where is this coming from?
Silly woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
My aunt And my wife would have kept that money.
Yeah.
I would have never saw that money.
But who's to say she didn't?
No, she just told him that she found it in the interview. I'm saying that my wife would have not told me she found that money. My aunt actually has a rule in her house. She's got two daughters, two sons, and their rule is that when they do laundry, whatever they find in the pockets, they get to keep.
Yeah. But
so they be rushing to do some laundry. I'm and they'll tell you when you left all the change in there. Yeah. All right, I'm sorry, I'm off topic.
Yeah,
she's a saint.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair though. But I just feel like where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think he had more to do. But at the same time, I think we both can admit that the NBA has something to gain by saying, there's nothing to look at over here.
Absolutely. So what Ivy is saying is that nigga did it.
Yeah.
He did it. The NBA probably knew he did it and said he didn't do it because...
I was about to say allegedly, but I mean he went to jail for
allegedly, yeah. Allegedly he did it. Well, he didn't go to jail for fixing the fixing the game. Well, they said that. They said he was never charged on that, right?
Okay, so but allegedly.
We're going to... Yeah, he did it. What 50 Cent said in Power?
I'm not a Power guy.
I'm going to add that on here. I'm going to find that and drop that right here.
All right.
Whatever they said he did...
That nigga did it.
He did that shit. In the wise words of Canaan, whatever they said he did that shit.
But at the same time, I think that's why I never really got into like betting on any game. But I don't believe if there's a human involved in roughing, he can be,
but there's humans in everything, right? I mean, and to your point, like you don't really like going to the casino. There's humans involved in that, right? You can sit there and shuffle the cards as much as you want, but there's still a human deal in them. And I damn sure don't trust the computer dealers. Yeah. I don't trust them where the cards just disappear, come back. Like, come on, bro. Of course you're going to put all the aces and kings at the bottom, except for when the dealer gets it. But yeah, man, the investigation happened. It's old.
But what's your thoughts on it? You're the NBA guy.
I'm the NBA guy.
Does this affect you any?
Does it affect me any? Nah, not really. It's with sporting period, man. Whenever things don't go like, well, let me not go off on that tangent. I'll say this: as far as he is concerned, I think he was a bad apple in the bunch, in the barrel of good ones, right? I don't think that there are a ton of referees out there fixing the games. And I like to think that the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, all these big organizations go above and beyond to look for things like this and to try to prevent it.
You ain't gonna get me to say that.
I didn't say that I believe it 100%, but I like to think that they do, right? I like to think that the game is not fixed.
That motherfucker was looking right at that call.
What are you referring to? Oh.
That motherfucker was looking right at that call.
The wound is still fresh.
Hey, bro.
The wound is still fresh.
I could take when
down.
I could take it when I get beat. Like if you get beat, fine. But when it's like, dude, you was looking right at the shit, bro.
What? So you think what's that ref's last name? His last name Donaghy? Nah. So that's just what I say, right? And I'm not so invested in sports that I like. Clearly, when Cap said he was taking the knee for it, I'm like, okay, I'm with Cap. I'm not so vested in the NFL that like I can't not watch an NFL game. I'm not so invested in the NBA that if I feel like there's a disservice there being done to any fight that I stand behind, I'm not so invested in them that I won't withdraw. But that's how I am as a person, period. Like I won't, if I drink this too much and then wake up one day and it's like, yo, you done drank this 5 days in a row. I feel like this has too much power over me, so I withdraw. That's just how I am. Okay. I don't like anything really. I don't like feeling like I need anything or like I can't go without anything.
Interesting.
Right? So that's just me. So as far as what's going on, I mean, I think, I side with Stern on this. He did his time. They did an investigation. Whether or not they did a great investigation or a very
thorough,
acute very like focused investigation. I think it was thorough, but I think that they were focused at one thing, which was the playoffs. All right, they're focused at the ultimate goal of the season was possibly affected by this guy. So they did an investigation. They found that he didn't do it. So I say he didn't do it, but I just think that they, that should have all been, that there should have been a press conference or something about that. It shouldn't have been swept under the rug and just, oh, well, whatever. And then it just disappeared. Like, it should have been like some follow up, or maybe get some third party people to come in from the outside and look at what they looked at to see if they reached the same conclusion. But whatever, it's in the past, man. I don't care.
So the one thing, and the last thing I would say about it,
interesting documentary, but ultimately, I don't care.
They got a documentary
or whatever.
The story.
Yeah,
okay.
The story. Sorry.
And we can end on it. Just one last thing I had to. I found it very interesting how, how bold this dude was, man. Like, he wasn't supposed to be in casinos, was going to casinos, and that's what really made me feel like I know eventually eventually you get, it's a rush.
Yeah.
And eventually you need to get a rush. And the last thing, and it kind of piggyback off of what you said, they looked at the playoffs. I can see him not doing it in the playoffs because too many eyes will be on him.
Yep.
Who gives a fuck about the Tuesday night game in Milwaukee?
Yep.
In fucking November?
Yep.
Yeah, let me make $2-3 grand.
On the local station.
Yeah.
On the local station.
Let me
picking it up.
Let me make $5 grand off this.
Yep.
Keep the game close. It's early. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I can see it happening.
Yeah, I can see it happening, but do I think it's happening across the board and I think it's an issue? No. That's what I'm going to say.
What I would say is maybe it's not an issue, but because of there is a preponderance that it could happen, I think they probably should address it. Get out ahead of it.
I mean, they do. I think they do. I think
maybe they are. I'm just saying. I hope they.
I think they do now. The problem with the NBA is that it is very. I mean, any sport with human referees, which is all sports, is highly subjective. It's highly subjective, and they're trained. They are trained on what to look for. So it's like we think that we're making the best call sitting on the couch, and like these guys are out there actually running up and down the field. And
unless the call is obvious and you miss it, and you're looking right at it.
All right. Well, that's NFL refs. The NBA refs is good.
Oh yeah,
they good on any block.
Shout out to
Bompton. They can go to Bompton with Big Soldier. The NFL, NFL refs ain't good out here.
Shout out to my pro fight, Big CJ. CJ Washington.
Look, man, we ain't gonna shout out no more noobs on this.
He's a professional ref, though. He's a professional ref. I'm doing my best not to go too hard.
Kappa Alpha Side, you want to shout out some more brothers? Pay up, man. We need some ads. No, man. I'm taxing the noobs.
No, you can't.
I'm taxing the noobs.
At that point, then you gonna have to get taxed for all your.
Y'all think y'all Amazon? Y'all think y'all can get shout outs all episode without paying? The bros is taxing you. Come see us at the grill on the yard. You know where the good chicken at. All right, man. So we're going to move on. And really, I think these last three will close out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Black outrage is all the rage in marketing, it seems.
We touched on that last week, too.
Yeah, we did. We touched on it.
I guess it's another one this week.
So 2 weeks ago, Gucci, really 8 months ago, Gucci made this sweater. Ugly sweater. It's not terrific. Donald Trump would say it was terrific. It's not a terrific sweater.
Terrific.
It's not terrific.
Wonderful.
It's not terrific sweater. It's not the best sweater in America. It's not American made.
No, it's not.
But they call a lot of flack for it. Sambo sweater, blackface, whatever. Now, people like T.I., other athletes, other, high, what is the word I'm looking for? High, I don't know, fucking other popular people in the African American community are calling for a ban. High profile. That's the word I'm looking for. High profile. Other high profile celebrities and people in the black community are calling for a boycott of Gucci. Spike Lee saying he wants boycott until they hire African American designers. Cool, right? We all pretty much say fuck Gucci, with the exception of Floyd Mayweather. Not gonna go down that road again.
A few people, because I actually did you see Casanova's Breakfast Club interview?
Casanova 2 times?
Yeah, you see his?
No, I ain't see that.
Basically, he wore Gucci to the Grammys. And they asked him about it, and then he was over there talking about it. Man, I still got like 3 jackets I just bought.
Well, yeah, because he ain't got it like that. And it's like my man doubled down and went in the store and splurged a little bit.
Yeah.
And before he could even wear it, now the boycott.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I feel him on that, but yeah, don't wear that shit, Casanova. So Floyd's the only one that really spoke out about it, and I like his little post talking about I'm a leader, and then he's draped in all Gucci. Floyd, you're not a leader unless there's people following behind you. Nobody's following you with this Gucci shit, my brother.
No, they're not.
You are not a leader. You are a rebel, and I really don't even want to call you a rebel because you're bucking the system just to buck it. You have no fight.
You're a knucklehead.
Yeah, sure. You have no message. You have no stance that is serving the betterment of the people. That would make you a rebel for fighting the machine. You are sticking with the machine.
Yes.
You are not a leader. You are Sambo. You are a coward. And that's all I got to say on you this week. I'm not going to get into your fighting history. I promised Ivy I would stay on top. So, Floyd did that. Gucci did that, right? Here we are all in an uproar. We tired of this shit. This needs to end. It won't happen again, right? We're guaranteeing that they're going to learn from Gucci and it's not going to happen again. And here we are, not even a week later from our last episode. And Ivy, to fill the people in on what happened.
I don't know. I know Burberry.
Ivy don't know. So I'm going to fill the people in on what happened.
I heard Burberry.
To this camera.
Yeah.
I believe it's New York Fashion Week, fashion show. Burberry is displaying their spring collection. And what do you know? They've got a young lady and a pretty nice jacket. The jacket was okay. It was a nice jacket. It wasn't a terrific jacket. It was a nice jacket.
It wasn't terrific.
But one of the accessories that the young lady had
the noose.
Was
I
a
did
noose.
See that. God damn.
Was a noose.
My bad, bro. I knew that.
A noose tied around her neck as an accessory. And they of course they hit the interwebs, right? The internet, and they say that hey, the noose was an homage to the Marines, right? This whole theme was themed off the Marines and the nautical, whatever, this and that, and it's art and it's. But here we are, not even a week from the Gucci outrage, and now you were parading a model down the runway with a noose around their neck. I'm starting to think that, I've been thought this shit was on purpose, but now it's obvious. This shit is on purpose. All these high-end brands, and we need to realize this shit. These high-end brands don't want us in it.
You're not for us.
They don't want us in their brands. So can we please stop rapping and bragging and feeling like we are better than our brothers and our sisters because we are wearing these brands? Can we please support someone like a Virgil Abloh or name another designer? I don't know anybody in the designer world. Charlemagne's stylish. She seems fly and fun and whatever. Let's support these people.
Let's just be,
Can a black person create a designer brand?
Let's just say let's support our own. Let's support our own. Because at the end of the day, I'm boycott. I think I have boycott. With amnesia, wouldn't know boycott. I'm just tired of it. Like
Exhaustion.
Exactly.
Exhausted from boycotting, folks.
And I think to go back and I want to be more specific on what I meant on last year. And I think I said it last week. Oh, I'm sorry. Last week. But essentially, and I agree with the brother Spike. Yeah, let's boycott, but let's boycott for a purpose.
Yeah.
Let's boycott and be like,
I agree with that.
We need this. And until this happens, let's not have an open-ended boycott. And not just because, I want to be able to buy Gucci again. No. But we got to get something out of it and not just, okay, we sorry.
I'm with you. I'm on board with that.
And that's pretty much my stance.
But the thing that's interesting to me is like, why, in school you learn, in the MBA program, we learn that there's realized value and there's perceived value.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And truth be told is that Gucci's leather, Louis's leather, Fendi's leather, it's all leather.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can sit here and say some guy handcrafted this in a very remote place in the world, and this is all handcrafted, hand stitched, right? Okay, that's fine. right? But it's still leather, and it's still string that holds it together, right? So it's not that there is an exponential amount of value in these products. It's that we perceive them to be more valuable, so we assign them this higher value. But they're the same products, right? I guess what I'm getting at is that we're the ones that make them cool. We're the ones that give them that added boost of perceived value when we hype them up like that.
Yeah, especially
if
now.
we were to say Virgil Abloh was to take his Off-White brand and make it this designer brand, which he kind of has done, but he does more capsule things with other brands that already exist. But if he was to do his own thing, have his own pieces, essentially, if we got behind him and supported him, his brand would be the Gucci.
But I think people are supporting him. It's just we need people to get behind him, or get behind those type of brands, like you'll get behind a Gucci, a Burberry, a Prada.
But I'm saying we need
Louis,
designers like Virgil, like they have to step out of that, you know. And I understand it because as a you touched on it earlier, or you said this earlier, that you're a businessman. And as a businessman, you think a certain way. I'm a businessman. So, and as a businessman, I have that fear before I make an investment into something. You have that fear before you hit submit payment, and you see the comma with the numbers, right? Yeah. You got the number and the commas, and you're like, this has to work. I need to make my investment back, right? So I understand that. I understand he has that reluctance to step out there on his own to do his own thing. It could be Virgil Abloh, and it'd be the V and the A, and that's perfect because those are kind of they play off well with one another. That make a nice monogram, is what I'm saying. And if we support him like how we support the Gucci and Fendi, assign the same value to our brother Virgil's product, it can be that. And he's in a space right now to where his products are popular products. Whatever he puts Off-White on, it sells like hotcakes. The resale value is 2x plus on whatever he releases, right? Nike is making shoes with design cues from his Off-White capsule products, right? His partnership products with Nike. They're taking all that stuff and doing it on their own now. Let's write something on it. Let's put a pop of orange or a pop of this on the shoe to, add some flair to it. They're incorporating that without him right now. So we need him to do something. We need people like him to do something on their own and to put out that message that, hey, I got this going on. Please support it. And to drive that quality and to drive that brand, because we should really be bigger than Gucci and Fendi and all of them. Like, they cool and all. That's cool, but we don't need their approval. We can have our own intra-culture Gucci, intra-culture Fendi, whatever. I'm gonna stop saying all the names. Y'all need to give me some black designers. So I can start saying names.
I guess we go ahead and we can put it on. We could do a rundown of them, but here's a few that come to mind. Tracy Reese.
There's
hit
the mouse on the other one real quick.
Lawrence Small. Which one?
Wake it up. Yeah.
Lawrence Smalls. She actually Michelle Obama wore a few of her dresses.
Okay. Shout out to her.
Samantha Black.
Shout out to Samantha Black. Black is in the name. Support Samantha Black. Queen Samantha Black.
And the list goes on.
Shout out to Solange.
Yeah.
She ain't on there, but
And the list goes on.
They ain't have shit to do with nothing. I just thought that I should mention. Okay, and the list goes on. So we gotta, this black outrage, again, I touched on it last week. We gotta stop mentioning their names. We gotta stop hashtagging them because it gets us, and I'm speaking to myself right now because we hashtagging, who's that?
He's sort of like a Virgil, that Oliver guy.
Okay, Oliver what?
I don't know how to say his last name, but he's a bit Roberto. He's
Olivier Roosting?
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Olivier Roosting. Shout out to you, my brother.
I think he's a Balmain.
Okay, shout out to him. But we need them to make their own brands, man. We need them to make their own fashion houses, and so we can support them, man. Because we got to get off these other folks, man. Because they doing this shit on purpose at this point.
Oh yeah,
they doing it on purpose because Black Twitter, whether y'all know it or not, we hit and retweet. We getting the discussion popping, and every time it pops
free marketing, baby.
Free marketing, free promo for them. So imagine, if you were getting 5 cents for every time you got a like or a retweet or a comment or something like that. And that's how, if you don't understand how these things work, go watch one of Soulja Boy's old videos where he used to give all the tea. He used to say that, he was getting 5 cents per comment or something like that on his early YouTube videos. Soulja got in when it was mad bread, and now it's pennies to the dollar, like you're getting .00 something. Soulja was there where it was like 5 to 7 cents per comment, and you get 100,000 comments, right? That's an easy $7,000 or seven, whatever the math is, 70,000, $7,000, easy. Views get you another percentage. Likes and subscriptions get you another percentage. So that's effectively what they're doing. These companies have associated a monetary value to likes and retweets and all of that. And the more we do it, right, they're receiving value because the name Gucci keeps popping up and keeps, they keep seeing these products and or consumers keep seeing these products, right? Mm-hmm. So they buy.
Or it keeps trending.
Yeah. So people are buying because it's popping, it's trending. They want to be in what's trending, what's hip. So we gotta, get on the back channels, man. Like I said last week, stop saying this shit out loud. Word to myself, and how many times I've said it on this episode. But we gotta do that, man. And that's all I want to say about that. I'm not gonna touch on this black outrage shit no more. I think we've beat a dead horse at this point. So let's just support each other. Stop supporting them because they clearly don't give a fuck about us. Word.
Next up.
Oh, we closing this out, man.
Say it ain't so.
Yeah.
Say it ain't so, Jesse.
Why you always lying? Why you always lying? This nigga's a lion for real.
Well,
through and through. Lying ass.
What I'll say, it's not looking good for the brother.
No, it's not.
It's not looking good for him. He's definitely what's the saying? You're presumed innocent until proven guilty, but it ain't looking good for the brother.
No, he's not innocent until proven guilty.
And as everyone. And it's been said ad nauseum before, and I feel the same way. I'm not going to feel bad for believing the victim. So in this case,
yeah, no, not at all. And I don't think anybody that's saying like I told you so, something wrong with y'all.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna go off on a stand on a ledge because of y'all, but or soapbox. It's just,
but it ain't looking good though.
Something wrong with y'all. I do feel kind of, I feel kind of played. It's like, damn, man, I kind of went out there for the brother to support him and all that, and then it, worked out to not be that. But it is what it is.
It happens.
I just hope that we're able to, and the world is able to not judge the entire culture, based off of this one man's actions or the three guys' actions. I just hope that they look at him as a pariah, just this outlier. Right, he did it, and it's him. It's of his own merit, and whatever time he gets, just has to serve. Which I thought was hilarious. That now it's federal because he sent that letter in the mail. If he wouldn't have sent that letter, it wouldn't have been federal.
He sent a letter?
Yeah, he sent like the ransom letter or something that said like, "We're gonna kill this." Whatever. Whenever like the maggot word comes up, I always just like blank. I don't know what the fuck to put into place. So yeah. They like cut the letters out the magazine like they used to do in like Home Alone with the ransom notes.
He did that.
Yeah, and he sent it to like in the mail to like a Fox Studios or something like that. So now because they made a big deal about it, and he's doing all this press condemning the police and everything, so they went and said, okay, so since he set that up, this is federal now, right? So it's a level 4 felony is what he's facing now. Okay. So it is what it is, man. But Jesse, serve your time, man. Get your ass out and stop lying, man. Stop all this lying. It ain't worth the fame and the clout. You're not the gay Tupac. You just at this point, man. It's embarrassing. That's all you are. You're an embarrassment. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got on that. You got anything else to add?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I will say is, and
we'll close it out so we can beat.
Yeah, we can close it out on that. But again, I'm not gonna feel bad for believing the victim. The one thing I will say, the caveat to this, and it's kind of on a different subject. I feel like this woman who got Emmett Till killed. If we're going to go ahead and take care of people for lying about, lying about what went on or falsifying police reports, This woman that lied and said Emmett Till did do something to her and got him killed. We should get her ass too. Then
I'm all for that. I would say I think your argument is not sound right there. I don't think that because that's retroactively going back and getting something. I think that more aligns with Bill Cosby.
It's murder, right? And they got Bill Cosby, right?
No, so that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that I agree with what you're saying. She should be tried, especially if we know that she lied. She should be tried. I agree with that. I just don't think Jesse is the example for that.
No, but this. But
I get what you said.
I agree. It opens that door for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fine. She lied too, and that was brutal.
That's how Ivy giving it up. Now you took one of ours, so give us one. Yeah. Ivy want one too, man. You took a pound, we want a pound.
I want my pound of flesh.
Yeah, man. An eye for an eye leaves the world blind.
Hey, man.
Mahatma Gandhi, baby.
Hey, everyone know their place though.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah, everyone know they got that.
Except for white people, apparently. She's still walking, and Robert Kraft is.
Yeah, he said he didn't do nothing.
Kraft, you nasty, man. What you doing under that towel with your drawers off? I know what you was doing, man. And speaking of nasty, man, we'll close it on this.
Yes, sir.
This might be the best news we got all day. Breaking news: embattled R&B superstar Robert Kelly.
Hold on, man. You fucked up. That is the artist that shall not be named.
Oh, damn, you're right. Let me start over again. Give me an action. Clap me in. Clap me in. Clap me in. Breaking news: embattled R&B superstar who shall not be named was charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse in Cook County Friday morning, record show.
It's only a matter of time. It's funny how I didn't even set that up for that about talking about Cosby, but if they can get Cosby, they definitely can get his ass.
Yeah. They got
because that Cosby was way back in like the 70s and 80s. This is recent.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, look at God, man, and the Lord works in mysterious ways. So we're not gonna go into more detail on that. We'll let that play out. He's gonna get his karma, his just due. So with that, that's all I got, man. I think we had a good podcast this week.
All right.
We touched everything: politics, sports,
and
business.
I guess at the same time,
entertainment.
Before we get out of here, I just want to congratulate you because probably next time we meet up. Probably be a father, huh?
Yeah. Definitely.
So I want to go ahead and just congratulate you on the son. And
it feels weird, but yeah, I'm a dad.
Good luck on the journey, baby. It's gonna be many a long nights.
Yeah, man. The podcast might have to go on the road for the next couple weeks, or we'll figure something out, man. I was thinking of maybe we hop on Instagram Live, do a little 2-screen live action or some shit like that. Keep it going.
Well, again, I just want to wish you and the wife a healthy birth.
Is it weird?
Yeah.
I'm laughing. No. We can keep it. I'm laughing because it's our third time doing this shit.
I want to wish
you genuine. All right,
I want to wish you and the wife a healthy birth next week. Again, definitely you guys will be in my prayers.
Yep.
And
appreciate that.
With that said,
appreciate it. Well, all right. So I appreciate it. Like I said, it was due to technical difficulties, we had to do that part several times. But the sentiment is received all the same. Thank you for the well wishes, the prayers, and everybody out there that's actually watching, listening. Thank you to everybody that's giving us prayers and well wishes and gifts and everything. It's all well received, man. We are very thankful, very grateful.
I was at the house last week. I saw him.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The love is definitely felt.
Baby boy is definitely loved. We are definitely loved. So we appreciate it, and we definitely gonna take all the love and all the prayers into the delivery room next week. And I just want healthy baby. This is my personal. I don't know what I guess what I just want out of the situation, which I think all fathers want, right? Yep. It's a healthy wife, healthy baby. And I'll be a happy man. That's it.
Yes, sir. So, well, with that said, from two of us.
Wait, nope.
What?
Please like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like and subscribe to us on YouTube. We do weekly premieres of our YouTube show Thursday nights 9 p.m. We also, and that's at Hot Takes and Half Truth. on YouTube.
Yeah, and also on SoundCloud, you can find us at Hot Takes and Half Truth.
There you go. And then interact with us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at HT Squared Pod. Yeah. So get with us, man. Get with us. We if there's anything you want us to talk about, man, let us know, because we have our interests, but we're not so removed from the culture. I think we've been touching on stuff that's interesting to the culture.
Yep.
But let us know if there's something out there that you just want to hear two young brothers give their perspective on. Let us know, man. We are not shy.
And if you're truly new school, old school, you can hit us up at htsquaredpod@gmail.com.
There you go. Email us.
So, with that said, from the two of us to all of you, talk to you tomorrow.
Peace.